afternoon, Camp Davy Crockett.
I'm Hayden.
And I'm Zeph.
And I'm PopTart.
And welcome to the Camp Davy Chronicles. That was my best impression of Steven.
Steven's impression of you.
Yeah. As the last quote-unquote host.
Correct.
Co-host.
Yeah.
Or guest host.
That's a better word for it.
That's the word. All right, well, correct. Welcome to the podcast, PopTart.
I'm happy to be here. I've kind of kept along as soon as you guys started talking about making a podcast. I was like, that sounds interesting.
Yes. It's true. We talked about this with James, or you guys did. You were one of the first ones that we came up and was like, would this be listenable?
Yes.
Well, I hope it is, because we're this far in now. So
it's too late to give up the
14th episode.
Commit to the bit.
Might as well.
Yeah. Happy 4th of July!
God bless America.
Yee.
That was...
Are you
I didn't know what to say.
Say something patriotic.
America.
Yay!
I guess that works.
Heck yeah. All right. PopTart, we just had a great week at camp. Week 3. How did it go for you?
It went pretty well. For those that don't know, I teach up at Eaglebound. Everything went smoothly up there. Kids were getting their requirements done. Only a couple people didn't show up. I call that a win in my book.
Yeah, that's true. You know, so we've also talked in the past about having all of our directors on. For my second year on staff, PopTart was my director for that. So
and your first year, right? No, first year was Jacob. Yeah,
but he was my director for. So he's like,
man, we need to get Jacob Miller on here at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
2019 was a crazy year.
It was a crazy year. It is fun, and that's what matters.
Yes, it's always fun, no matter how crazy it is.
Yeah. So
this sometimes. Okay.
So what happened this week? Let's get into some stuff.
Stop talking at us.
Yeah, okay. There's still troops kind of rolling out as we sit here and record, and they're beeping at us through the window.
They don't know I'm in here, do they?
They probably do. Everyone does.
No.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh.
They're coming to get you.
Oh no, bro.
Okay. Well, PopTart, what was your favorite part of this week?
Favorite part of this week? That's a good question.
Yeah, no, there's a lot that happened this week. That's good.
A lot of things did happen this week.
Did you drink plenty of water?
What do you think? I say it every morning.
I hope so.
And it's the only way that my voice still sounds as good as it does.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Week 1, I was not as well hydrated, and I absolutely destroyed my voice.
Yeah.
And I'm still currently paying the price for it.
Yeah, I remember how you sounded at the end of week 1, and I remember telling you, PopTart, you better not sound like this week 3 because you need to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm still feeling a little raspy, but that maybe is just from coughing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That and yelling every single day at a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
that's the good thing. I don't ever yell. I don't have to.
You're a very quiet person.
Well, I'm not a quiet person. I talk briskly.
You talk briskly.
You are generally a relatively quiet person, Hayden.
And so, we lost the volleyball game. I'm moving on. we lost the volleyball game.
Our worst loss yet.
Yeah, this was the worst one for sure. For those of you who haven't seen the video, but by the time this comes out, you should have seen, like, the video of volleyball should be posted. And so it was bad.
Yeah.
We tried to split off into an A-B team, and we think that just messed with everybody's brain because the A team was like, we're really good, and the B team was like, we're the misfits, and then nobody did good at all.
Yeah. It's like got in everybody's mindsets that, like, they are in a certain cast, and it's like,
and then
might as well play that way, right?
It wasn't set that, like, it was literally just some people that showed up first were in the A team, and then the B team was the people who showed up second, so that way we kept rotating. It literally had nothing to do with skill set or anything.
But then they just ended up both being B team.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I think it might as well just stay with the old system, but keep a steady rotation.
Right.
And even everybody out between skilled players and not so skilled players. That's the only way that we'll be able to do it effectively and still win a couple games.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make sense. That must be what got in people's heads or whatever, because I noticed the energy was way low for some reason. Like, people didn't
That's true. Also, I do have to say, this entire week, campers and staff has been different than most of them. Yeah. Because, like, week 1 and 2, everybody, like, at Friday night campfire, everybody's up dancing and having a great time. This week, they were just kind of sitting there, like,
I remember at the beginning of the week them being very energetic, though. The campers here. I mean, we had So our campfire Sunday night was canceled, and we moved it to Monday night, which we've never done before in my memory, because we've either canceled it or our plan is to move it to the dining hall. Right. But they all decided the weather coming in was bad enough that we would just send people to the campsites, and we moved it to Monday night because everyone wanted to do the game shows. And we still had chapel Sunday night, and I went to that because normally I don't get to go Sunday night because of campfire, and it was like super full, and everyone was like clapping and cheering and everything, like more than like a lot of energy for Vespers. And then we went to campfire, and it kind of felt more the same. And I was like, these campers are really, really hyped up and energetic. And then I don't know, I guess we all kind of got tired over the week, which is normal. But there's still always that excitement at Friday night campfire. But
that's true. But and I mean, everybody had fun. That's not it. It's just, you know, like people are dancing. They're just kind of sitting there. So I blame them.
By the end, though, there were lots of people up on the stage dancing like always. It just, you know, it took them a little longer than usual to get them engaged.
Yeah, that's
true. I think it was up until right at Cotton Eye Joe where we got a couple people up there.
Yeah.
And then YMCA is where we really got people up there.
Sometimes,
yeah, that's for sure.
Like,
YMCA is a good song.
All of us were beckoning at the crowd, and they were just sitting there and like logs, just staring at us, just deadpan staring at us.
Sometimes I think it just takes a while for people to figure out that they're allowed to go up there.
Right. I do have to say, the staff was on point this week with their campfire because they were like into it. They were dancing. Yeah. It was great.
I would say, like, as far as staff involvement in the Friday night campfire, I think this week has been the best.
And they were definitely working extra hard to try to get the campers involved and like.
And then they did.
Yeah.
So
by the end of it.
Yeah. And then halfway through, we moved to the dining hall.
Yeah, we started having lightning and thunder, and so we had to move.
Yeah. It didn't ever rain, but it did thunder. So we're now up to 1.5 campfires being rained out or moved or canceled for weather, which was one of our predictions. I said there would be 2. So
right.
You know, I don't remember what you said.
I don't remember. I think I said that none would get canceled, but one would get like threatened.
Oh I think that's what you said. So I think I'm closer on that now. Yeah. I'm also closer on volleyball because you said 4-0 and I said 3-1. So
yeah, I think we're the ones that jinxed us, honestly. We've never made a prediction.
You did this. You've done this.
But it is what it is. So there's 2 things that I want to talk about that I don't think we've talked about, and I've been meaning to talk about them, that are specifically things in the trading post.
Okay.
So one is the new history book.
Yes.
So they had people, Jerry Moyer worked on the history book, like bringing history and stuff, and I sat down with him and helped design it. And it's in the history book, or it's in the trading post for $25. It's really cool. If you care about history and actually seeing pictures, there's a lot of pictures. It's more of a picture book than a word book. But it's really cool.
And it also has a timeline going over the whole thing, which is pretty cool.
And so that's definitely something to look into. Then the really cool thing that I think we have that's new in the trading
even
post,
cooler than the history book?
I don't know. It's probably the same plane.
Okay.
Is the backpacks. I don't know if you've heard about the backpacks.
We have I actually don't know about this.
Well, no, okay. So there is a program that Diamondback, where we get our tents from, that you send old decommissioned tents to them, and they make backpacks out of the tents from camp. And then they send them back, and we sell those in the trading post.
Wait a minute, I think I saw those then.
Yeah.
So I know that material. That looks like the old crappy tents we used to have.
The green canvas tents.
The green canvas tents that I'd sleep in as a camper and, wake up to drip, drip, drip on my forehead. Yeah.
They are so cool. And they're not expensive at all. And so if you're down here for week 4, go check those out. Definitely worth looking at least.
I might get one myself.
Yeah, no, I bought 2 of them. Because there's 6 different designs.
Yeah.
How much are they again?
It ranges from anywhere from like $15 to I think it was like $50. But it's not bad at all. There's only one that I think is like that expensive.
Very much.
All the rest are lower end prices.
Very much. Because it's all reused materials.
Right.
So
yeah, but they're really cool.
Okay, we've got to talk about the Cope director.
Uh-oh.
Because this is...
director.
No, Cope director.
Cope director, okay.
No.
I was sitting here and looking at my Coca-Cola account, I'm like, Coke director.
No, PopTart, not everything's about Coca-Cola.
I wish it was.
Yes, we know. Okay, anyway, our Cope director, well, technically the Cope director is Daryl.
Right. Daryl
Davis. Yeah, Daryl Davis. And he's not here most of the weeks. He'll be here week 4.
Correct.
Okay, but So Chris was here this week running Coke, and for years I have seen him as like the face of Coke because he's there and he'll announce at flags and whatever.
Yeah.
And so I always thought that he was Daryl because I knew Daryl was the Coke director, and in my mind that guy was the Coke director. And so this week I found out his name is not Daryl.
Have you been addressing him as Daryl?
In my mind, I just haven't really talked to him.
I thought you meant like you walked up to him like, "Hey, Daryl, how you doing?"
I think someone else I called him Daryl, like, and someone else was like, "That's not Daryl," and I don't even remember who I was talking to.
Oh man!
But I wish I did. But they told me that's Chris. I'm like, then who's Daryl? And then they described Daryl to me, and I can picture this person. Oh. I never knew he had a name. Okay. And so then I went and I told Daryl about. I mean Chris. I told Chris about. See, now I've continued calling him Daryl on purpose because he knows, and he started calling me JD. And so we have this thing going now where we're calling each other by the wrong name on purpose as a joke.
Now you're just confused.
Yeah, I know. It's just making it all the more confusing. So if you see Chris, call him Daryl.
No, very much noted. Who's Chris? No, I'm joking. Okay. No, I know who Chris is.
Yeah. And then when we were telling Hayden and I were both talking to him at dinner last night, and we told him about this, and then he called Hayden Zeph.
Yeah, and then it confused me, and I was
because we hadn't even explained it to him yet. I just told Hayden, call him Daryl, and he was like, okay. And then it was a great time. Great time.
Yeah. You know what else is a great time?
Camp.
Well. So just a few minutes ago, and we're kind of past it when it just actually happened. Our camp director, Del Douthat, stayed lively, and he came by and was making faces at us through the door to distract us. I thought that was hilarious.
It worked.
It did. Yeah, no, we got
it worked.
So there's a little break in there when Zeph is talking about something.
I was talking about the end of Campfire. It's in the middle of a sentence. Yeah, and he cut it off and made me finish the sentence. So you probably can tell that it sounds weird the where it's cut there.
So we had to cut for a second, but just wanted to address that because it's funny.
Now speaking of Dale, Hayden and PopTart and I are all in the same troop from Dale's tutelage.
The 240 takeover.
Yeah.
Have you guys talked about that?
I don't think so, but 240 rules camp.
Yeah, that's true. True 240 is doing this this podcast right now.
This year we've got me, Zeph, Hayden, Dale, Jerry, Evan, Wesley, Atlas.
Technically Michael Keysucker.
That's right. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Well, no, never mind.
I feel like we have some Matthew.
Yeah.
That's a large percentage of staff.
And at least by association, we have Emma and Aaron, too.
Right.
That's true.
So.
Yeah. And Ed, your dad.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Forget about
this week. Yeah. So the 240 takeover is real. That's like a solid.
Cheryl. Yeah. I'm trying to keep thinking of people as I go.
There's always more.
You always think about them, and then they're just.
And my brother was a CIT this week.
That's true.
Daniel. Yeah.
So
that's like a solid 20% of staff.
Yeah, honestly, which is really cool. Like last year, we took a picture with all of Troop 240 that was there, and that was a cool picture.
Yeah.
I think we have more 240 here this year, don't we?
No,
we did last year.
I feel like we had a lot last year.
I don't know. We have a lot this year.
That's true.
As we've established.
We'll have to get an actual percentage and figure out what it is.
Oh yeah, man. Do the math. No, I'm not doing the math. Someone else can do the math.
Yeah. I'm too tired to do math.
But it's really interesting because all of us have got to grow up around Dale, and he's been there. And now he's here. Yeah. And now we're continuing with I don't know where I'm going.
It is very interesting to see how we started out as little scouts coming in about 3'5". It's terrified of scouting, and you walk in and you see this man known as Dale Douthat, right?
And he is quite a man.
Yeah.
Right. But he's seen us grow up.
Yeah.
Through the troop itself.
We're basically his children.
Well, I mean, yeah. I like to think that's how he sees us, as his children.
Right. And I don't know about you guys, but he's definitely he would come down. We'd come down as campers on week 1, and I would see how much he loved camp, and his love for camp definitely trickled down, and I was like, oh, this camp's amazing. Not like I realized I loved camp as a camper, but he's the reason that I like went on to be on staff and stuff, is because I realized like it's more than just being a camper.
Oh yeah, I mean, like giving back to your council alone is important, and I think that camp staff is one of the most productive ways for anybody to get interested in it. Because I know that like an administrative position, that's not for everybody, but everybody can find a place on camp staff.
That is true.
Like if you're
look at us.
I mean, yeah, look at us.
Places, podcasters.
I mean, hey, they kept us along for some reason, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we are the most popular podcast on camp.
That's true.
So
that's or at least the most popular podcast of camp.
We're the most popular podcast in the council.
In the council.
Man. Yeah.
I mean, probably.
So
probably that we know of.
Hey, our scout executive is one of our biggest fans. Greg, he plugs it like everywhere he goes.
I love that.
He'll go to like big important meetings of like other scout executives.
He does.
And he tells them all about the podcast.
I definitely thought he was gonna plug it on the WJHL interview.
Oh, yeah.
I really wish I was hoping he would, because I watched the interview a couple days ago because I it's like out of curiosity, I was like, didn't he do an interview on that channel?
Right.
And I was like, I know how he likes to plug it. Please tell me he plugged it on it. He didn't.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, that'd have been
Greg. Next time you go on the news, you gotta plug the podcast.
Greg, if you're listening, you know what you must do now.
I don't know. It'd be funny though.
Yeah, I will say, to switch tracks again to the scout camp this week, I had some really good, well-behaved classes this week that really impressed me. And I also got to teach bird study, which I never taught before. So that was fun. And when we were going around on our bird hike, we heard at least 10 different kinds of birds in like half an hour. So
it was definitely just one bird following you and doing different noises.
It was just a mockingbird.
Yeah, it was just a mockingbird that was just teaching you the entire time.
Yeah, it was just following you.
Zeph, it knows you and it wants to mess with you. That's it. Don't you know, birds aren't real. They're government drugs. Especially the mockingbirds. They're going to monitor you in more ways than one.
Some birds are real, but there's no way pigeons are real. That's my take. Pigeons.
I disagree with you. Pigeons are not birds. They're rats with wings.
I agree.
This has been re-established. I'm sorry.
That's true. I remember
agree to disagree.
I remember the whole saga. We did pre-establish that birds or pigeons were just rats with wings.
Wait, when?
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seagulls are just. What are they
seagulls called? Also aren't real. No
seagulls
way.
are not real. No way.
They're just water pigeons.
The water rats.
I mean, that's
the water rats.
So that's just a fact. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them.
So what classes did you teach this week, Hayden?
Well, I got to go out of my comfort zone a little bit and teach archery. I was not here for the first week because I had a scheduling conflict.
You mean the first half of the week?
Well, yeah, for the first half of the week. I got back on, what was it? Wednesday, yeah. And so I had a really good group as well. I think I had like 10 kids. And they were really well behaved. There was a guy named Steve that was taking over, and he did a really good job. And so when I got back, there actually wasn't much for me to do, so that was nice.
Well,
so
lucky you.
Yeah.
I taught an extra class all week, so.
So and of course I helped with the Crockett Wild Frontier, which is really, really fun.
Because your brother wasn't here, PopTart.
Oh.
I didn't mind, though. I wanted to teach that class. And also the people who covered his other classes did a good job.
He got yoinked by the band.
Yeah, that's true.
I will say, though, he did write good lesson plans for people to work from. So he has taught from other people's lesson plans that weren't good before. And so when he knew that he had to leave, he redid his lesson plans to be more detailed. Just for us.
Wow, what a nice guy.
Yeah.
He deserves a Scout Spirit Award.
Scout Spirit Award.
Yeah.
Or just at least a Camp Navy Chronicles official shout out.
Yeah.
Good job, Matthew.
That's our...
Shout out to Matthew Williams.
Yeah. That's our... we used to do Attaboys, but it's the Scout Spirit Award.
Whatever happened to those? Like the little slips that we used to put in mailboxes, the Attaboys and the Guess Who Wasn't Here Today.
Oh gosh.
Oh no. We've been attacked by Cheryl.
Cheryl's just knocking on our studio.
Okay.
Hi, Cheryl.
Oh, man.
We're recording.
Half the time.
Okay.
half the time, like the kids that weren't there, they were officially switched out of the class or they weren't on camp. So I felt bad every day.
That's
going.
true.
I know. I had a kid that got hurt enough to not be at camp, and I felt bad for him because he was there the first day and then had to leave, and I was like, oh, what a shame.
Yeah, I do remember turning those things in though.
I do as well.
And it was, you're right, because usually there was a reason.
Right.
You know, here's a little secret: is after the second day, I didn't do anymore.
I don't really. I did them the second day. I think it was the third day that I stopped. Because I was like, you're halfway through it. If you're not, if you weren't there the first 2 days, you can't make it.
You know exactly. Like I'll do it on Monday night. Like if they're not there Monday or Tuesday, I'll put them in. Right. But Wednesday they're not there. I'm just gonna say, you're just not here.
Right. Yeah. Which is the one thing about the new system of Black Bug is a Scoutmaster can pull up and be like, all my kids were either in this class or weren't. So it's digital now, which is nice.
True.
So
I have my own calls with Black Bug.
Yeah,
sure.
I think everyone does.
Yeah, but it is nice now that we finally have it split up to where the directors can do it.
Oh yeah, I know that takes a lot of workload off of the office.
Yeah,
like both at the council level and here on the camp office level. I know that takes a lot of stress off of them.
The first 2 weeks, the directors didn't have logins for Black Bug yet, or we did, but we didn't have the credentials or whatever.
Yeah.
So JD and Sean had to enter all the paperwork themselves, and it took them the whole day.
We did have a login, but it was to some weird off-brand thing. We had to go by scout, requirement by requirement.
I never got into that. I didn't see it. I don't know, but I still had my.
Zeph was the problem. Didn't try.
I still had my login from last year. I still had my login from last year to Black Bug, and so I got into that, and there was just nothing there because all my credentials were gone. So yeah. Anyway,
so it sounds like Zeph was the problem.
Yeah,
we don't need to talk about paperwork stuff on the podcast.
Yeah, I would like to avoid any paperwork talk.
All right,
that's true. Okay, but real quick, let's just let everybody know the struggle of old paperwork. You used to have to do it by yourself, by hand, on paper, and
in some ways, in some ways that was easier though.
I don't know.
In some ways, but it was just so your staff would be so brain dead, just sitting there signing and then hunting down people that can sign off on the paperwork.
True.
That was such a pain.
And then especially at first year, I mean, doing first year stuff is awful. I do not like requirements at first year.
No.
And so,
like specifically as far as paperwork is concerned.
Right, because it was some kids weren't there, some kids were doing other things. I mean, it was just bad. I'm sure the way you have it set up now, like where you all are doing different things, it's really hard.
Especially with the way that the new program is written is for efficiency.
Right.
But then at the same time that I adopted this new program, National signed on for Black Pug. Black Pug does not like how I wrote my program.
Yeah. I was there when we were still calling it first year. Now it's Eagle Bound. I still haven't figured that out.
That was a bit of a change.
2-3 years.
Yeah, it's been.
Hayden still doesn't know. Okay.
So, but it is what it is.
You know what my position is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That weird little awkward moment of silence. Leave that in.
I'm leaving it in.
He barely does the editing. It's like your cough will still be there, and no one will be able to hear me. Like Hayden is very minimalist when it comes to editing.
Listen, it's all gonna be natural.
It's raw content, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
That's true.
It's the most pure form of communication.
He's probably gonna leave in Cheryl banging on the door.
That's the best part.
I want so bad. It just I'm not going.
Don't punch the microphone.
I want to punch it. So.
PopTart. It's time for the word of the day.
It is. I was going to say it.
The word of the day is dolt. D-O-L-T. The word is synonymous with idiot. It is a very fun way to say it because, say, I'll walk up to somebody, they're doing something, for people that don't know, PopTart's number one rule is don't be stupid, right?
Makes sense.
And it's like that can keep you out of most injury-inducing situations, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like, I was climbing the rafters of Eagle Bound and falling onto a table like one of my students did this week. On my back. Could have avoided if he had followed PopTart's number one rule.
This is true. I agree.
So I like to say, whenever I see them do this, I look them dead in the eyes and say, you were nothing but a dolt. And in their ears, right? They hear adult, like A-D-U-L-T.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm 12. And I'm like, different word.
Maybe
allowed to
that's
say this to them?
I don't know. Maybe this is your resignation letter.
Hang on, maybe edit this out. Do I need to restart somewhere?
It's on the books now. You're calling all your kids stupid. I don't know. This might not be.
No, not stupid. Call them idiots.
Doltish.
Yeah.
Doltish. That's a good way to put it. But it is. I want to say a more sophisticated way to call someone out for being stupid.
It sounds nicer.
There's a very good
kind of until you define it.
Yeah, well, maybe don't define it when you tell them.
Yeah, I won't define it. But
well, now
unless I listen to the podcast.
Now everyone listens to the podcast.
To be fair, I've only called one person this week adult.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not bad.
And it was the kid that climbed my shelter and almost broke his back on my table.
He didn't though.
But he didn't. Yeah.
He's okay.
If you're listening, you know who you are.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's not call him out. But
I'm not.
Okay.
I don't remember his name.
Good. He doesn't either.
Wait.
Anyways.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, if you want to use that word of the day in a sentence, don't address someone directly as...
Don't call me that.
Yeah. If you come up to one of us to try to get the patch and you say, you're adult, we won't give it to you.
Yeah.
Use it in a different way.
So,
I don't know, say something like Andrew Jackson was adult or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Throw in Richard Nixon, who knows?
Yeah. Let's do the joke of the day.
Yeah.
I've heard
the joke
you
of the day.
that one.
So, what do you got?
What do you get?
What do you get?
What do you got?
When you cross a dad joke with a rhetorical question?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I don't know.
He's not going to answer. That's the joke.
That's funny.
It's better than the back of the milk carton jokes.
Listen,
that's true.
I didn't bring a milk carton with me this time.
Good.
Maybe I will next time.
If you listen to
Mr. What does a cow with no lips say?
Ooh. If you listen to the previous episode, you'll hear all about Steven's legal gripes with the milk carton.
That's the games. He doesn't say anything about the jokes. I do have to say, I wish they would print more than 5 jokes on milk carton.
This is true. It's like there's so much potential there.
Yeah, we
wasted.
We buy so much milk.
and that's the thing is like the only people that are getting those milks are people that are giving it to a lot of people.
Exactly.
Like schools, camps.
True.
Such an opportunity for so many good jokes.
You expect nothing less than a different joke on every carton, Derek.
I don't want to say every carton.
I understand the printing process as well. And they have things for specific things. And so, but at least 20 jokes instead of just 5.
I say 100.
No.
I'd say these 20 jokes would over have a different set of jokes every month.
Yeah.
True.
Right? So you could have a different print every other month.
Well, see, you know what Steven didn't say is along with the games, they also have a place that says submit jokes.
Really?
And you click it and it takes you nowhere.
Oh my gosh. Derek here, get your act together.
It takes you to a blank screen and you're just there. And so that's how it works.
That's why they don't have any jokes. Because their website went down and no one can submit them anymore.
Exactly.
Oh man.
What a bunch of goobers.
Ego
moment.
Yeah.
Doltish. Yeah. Derek Pure is a
Derek Pure is quite doltish.
Maybe let's not call out Derek Pure too much.
No. So anyway, if you want to get the patch, we need to plug that in every episode. If you want to get the patch, you talk to me or Hayden and tell us one of the words of the day in a sentence, and we'll give you a card, and then you go to the other one, and they'll give you the patch.
So we were talking about
I gave them a fun one.
And you just went into patches.
No, we've talked enough about milk for one day. I'm too frustrated. Okay.
I think we've made it halfway through. We start.
Derek Pure makes me angry.
The interview.
Interview time. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Is there something else you do besides the word and the joke in the middle?
No, that was it.
Stefan update.
Stefan.
Has he Stefaned anything yet?
No, he hasn't. He almost Stefaned himself.
Oh gosh!
And so he had to load muskets. You have to put a ramrod down so that way the ball goes into the gun.
I'm intrigued already.
Well, he went to push it in farther. I don't know what I'm describing. And it came out of the barrel of the gun and hit his arm and went across his wrist, and he cut himself, and we thought he was going to die. But he didn't.
Okay, when you say he almost Stefaned himself and bring up a rifle, I'm like,
it didn't have anything to do with getting shot. Or
no, bro.
Well, that's good.
So no, he just hurt his arm.
Okay.
Well,
but he's fine now, I think. I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Haven't seen him in the past couple hours. Who knows?
I haven't seen him.
He has not passed by us here yet, so he is still on camp. He could
Have you
still
watched every person that's left and see who they are?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he has kept a running total. Have you not seen the piece of paper he has there? He's written down every staff
That's what that is. Okay. Well, PopTart, Zachary Williams.
What? Okay, never mind.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that'll be the end of the interview. Okay, yeah, you need to explain the PopTart story.
That will be at the end of the interview.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, Zachary Williams here is nicknamed PopTart.
Zachary Williams and PopTart are one and the same.
I think the more surprising part would be like if you said PopTart was nicknamed Zachary Williams.
PopTart Williams is nicknamed Zachary. Okay. Anyway,
I like that.
A lot of people will ask him 20,000 times a minute how he got the name PopTart.
How'd you get the name?
And he is so tired of telling people that we have decided to finally give him the opportunity to once and for all tell the story on recording, on record, and then every time that someone asks him, he can say, listen to episode 14 of the Camp David Chronicles, timestamp, whatever it is.
Timestamp, I don't know, like 48 something,
I don't know, whatever we get to it. But that'll be the final question of the interview today.
Okay, go ahead and ask
for the record. The first question is, what is your position and former positions you've worked on camp staff, and how many years have you been doing this?
Well, I am the Eagle Bound director. I've always been at Eagle Bound, back whenever it was known as First Year Camper. I worked First Year Camper 2016, 2017, 2018. Yeah. And then I became Eagle Bound director in 2019 whenever Jacob Miller left. And I've been director ever since.
Cool.
This is my 7th year on camp staff.
Cool.
I have been at Eagle Bound since I started working here.
That's almost a decade.
Yeah,
but it's not.
It's a long time. It's a long time to deal with kids.
So, but I tell you what, you're good at it.
I'm good at it. I will.
Yeah. I will take my credit. I am good at it.
I'm the best person ever.
I will take that credit. Yes, please.
So, okay, next question is troop plus years in scouting. So, how many years have you been in scouting, and what troops have you been in? Yeah, no, this is a hard question.
Which kind of Cub Scouts?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so I came in as a tiger.
Yeah.
God, that was...
Never mind, just continue.
Yeah.
2000...
I don't know, you're 2 years ahead of me in scouting.
2006-ish,
so,
give or take.
Okay, I've been in scouting for like 13 years.
I'm back in Pack 252 in Fall Branch, Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were here at not
the troop. We'll get there.
Okay.
I went through the entire pack process. Crossed over, got my arrow of light.
Yeah.
Crossed over into Troop 252. That was my very first troop. That was whenever John Whittington was the scoutmaster.
Cool.
I was with them for about, I want to say 6-7 months. I'd visited the Troop 240 on a camp out. A surprise tool for later. And then about two months after that, I switched over to Troop 240.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Best troop.
240 takeover.
No, but 250 was here.
252.
Oh, 252. Because I was looking, the box that we've been looking at for the past, it says 250. And so I've always been curious where that came from.
I checked out Troop 252 last night.
So, okay.
Speaking of, shout out to Troop 500, they gave me apple cobbler.
Oh.
Shout out to Troop 371. Whenever I gave them the tour this beginning of this week, they gave me a quesadilla. And let me tell you, that was a good quesadilla. Cool. I don't know why, but I've never had a quesadilla on camp before. Yeah. And that settled just right.
Yeah, I do have to say, 500, 3 years ago, I think it was either 2 or 3, gave me a shirt, and I still wear that shirt for the troop.
They didn't give me a shirt.
Yeah.
But they did give me cobbler.
Yeah. So
that's better, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, when a troop, listen, I think more troops should do this. When they find a staff member that they like, they should give them a shirt.
Hayden's just saying that because he wants more shirts. Don't give Hayden any more troop shirts. It's going to his head.
I think the only thing that I'm getting is a hoodie from one of the Miami troops, which is pretty slick, actually.
Which is really weird that Miami
last week.
Okay. It's weird that Miami has
Why does Miami have hoodies?
You know what? I really couldn't tell you. Considering it's one of the hottest places in this country, why do they have hoodies?
I guess it's for when they're coming up here.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't know it got cold.
It doesn't. It does not. Been there, done that. It does not get cold.
All right, PopTart, what is your favorite campsite and program shelter?
Oh, I think I know this one.
So campsite, I have some debates.
Ooh,
right?
Okay, maybe I don't know this one.
Nostalgia purposes. Mountain Lion.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, it's not a Mountain Lion.
Mountain Lion is where 240 would always stay. Yes. So that's got a special place in my heart.
I was going to say, if it's not Mountain Lion, you're disowned.
Yeah, it does. It has a special place in all.
Then I raise you. Wolf Campsite. I love Wolf Campsite.
So I've never stayed in Wolf.
Its layout is nice. You have lake access. You've always got that breeze coming off the lake as well.
You've got storm access.
Because I do realize that it does get rained out very easily. But then whenever it's not stormy, you get that breeze off the lake coming through your campsite.
Yeah.
Especially at night. Oh, it's wonderful.
I don't know. I've never stayed there. I've heard multiple campers refer to that campsite as Tornado Alley because the storms come through there all the time and just like beat up your tent and everything else. So
speaking of Troop 240's Mountain Lion legacy, in my trunk, I still have the Troop 240 2x4 thing.
Oh yeah, we found the 2x4.
So in the ecology room, back when it was really, really cluttered, it's still somewhat cluttered, but last year we cleared it out completely for Conclave to have their trading post in there. And there were a bunch of wooden posts with different troop numbers on it behind one of the displays. And I don't know why they were there, but there were a bunch. It would just say Troop 240 was one of them, and there was Troop 37, whatever. A bunch of troops just had, and I didn't know what they were there for. They'd been there for years. We threw them all out except for the Troop 240 one.
Yeah.
And I kept it in my trunk so that we can post it in Mountain Lion as a monument.
When he said
like this is our campsite. We may not stay here as much anymore, but it is ours.
Yeah.
But it's been waiting in the back of my car for a year, and so at some point this summer we need to put it there.
This week would be a really good week for that.
Yeah, because this coming week we don't have a scout week. It's just NYLT, and specialty week was canceled because nobody signed up for it.
Sad.
Yeah. But so most of the staff will be off of camp this week, but it may be a good opportunity to do some extra things we've been meaning to do with our downtime, like post the Mountain Lion.
Exactly, which would be really cool.
So I'm hoping to maybe come down a couple of days and get chainsaw certified. That'd be cool. I would like to do that if I can. I just gotta check up on my schedule.
All right, so I have another question.
Yes.
Imagine that. What? And I'm really interested on what your opinion is because you've been here a little longer, so you might have different opinions. Favorite dining hall food?
I think I know his answer to this.
Okay, 2 choices. Last year we had the General's chicken, right?
The what?
The orange chicken.
Oh, the cherry blossom chicken.
The cherry blossom chicken. Phenomenal.
Best thing ever.
Then I raise you. We had a pizza casserole.
Okay. I thought that was what you would say.
Oh my Lord, that pizza casserole has my mouth watering at this moment, and I miss it.
I miss it too.
The things I would do to have that back.
I still want cherry blossom chicken back. I know Lori has been trying really hard because she tells me, I don't know if that actually translates to trying really hard, but she tells me all the time that she's trying, and then just nobody has it. But
where they get it from last year?
Well, it wasn't during the recession we're having right now.
Yeah, the weird food recession where we have to order food 5 months in advance.
So. Oh well. I would love them to bring back the pizza casserole too. Although I will say the lasagna we have at the new dining hall is very good.
The lasagna is
it's a fairly good substitute.
When they had the personal pizzas, I think I've talked about this before.
Yes.
The personal pizzas were amazing.
Yes.
And they you would bite into it and it would
the sauce ooze out in your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I mention the worst food?
Sure.
If you want to.
So, the legend of the old dining hall, the meatloaf.
Oh,
let me tell you,
Sunday night.
Yes. I have some tales of the meatloaf.
Oh my gosh, I'd forgotten about that.
I will never forget that stain on the earth. That is the Camp Davy Crockett meatloaf. So
you don't serve it anymore.
Me and my father, we can stomach most things, right? That meatloaf had both me and my father leaning over a toilet. That meatloaf is the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. I will confidently say that. Horrible.
I had forgotten that even existed. I mean, you've ruined my summer.
What, did I just unlock like a forbidden memory?
Yeah, and like now, like my entire mouth just like sucked back out. It's like, no.
You can taste it again.
Yeah.
You can taste it again. Just the dryness, the just drywall taste.
To like,
see, I think I'm lucky because they stopped serving that while I was still vegetarian, so I never had to eat it.
Lucky.
So.
Oh, right. PopTart, what is your favorite Marvel movie?
Captain America Winter Soldier.
All right.
Oh, that was easy. Okay.
Solid answer.
It's a solid movie.
Yeah.
Solid story.
Yep.
Solid characters. I mean,
Agreed.
I agree with every point.
Okay.
I mean, that's just best written Marvel movie in my opinion.
That was Steven's answer too. And if I hadn't thought of Spider-Verse, then that's what I would have said. But I said Spider-Verse was my thing.
Oh, if we're going full on, can I just say Incredible Hulk?
Oh, no.
Is that actually your favorite?
God, no.
You can't say that. It's a forbidden Marvel movie.
Okay, no. Real talk. The body for the body model that they used for the Hulk, not bad. Actually looked kind of sick.
Yeah.
Sorry, getting off topic there. But if I am gonna go best Marvel movie in general, can't really say that. Into the Spider-Verse, actually.
Okay.
It would be between Winter Soldier, Into the Spider-Verse, or Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
It's like I've said, I don't like animated stuff, and so the Spider-Verse was animated. It's a good movie. Like, I'm not hating on the movie. Good movie, but I'm not a fan.
I think
that's fair.
My hot take is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is overrated. Anyway,
that's completely fair. Okay. Like in certain instances, people revel in the scenes from those movies, and I'm just like, some of them aren't that great.
Spider-Man 3 is actually my favorite.
Well, I'm going to ask the next question.
Okay.
And I'm interested because you haven't thought about this. What is your favorite or one of your favorite camp stories?
That is a very good question.
So that's the problem with working on staff for so long is you have all of these stories that you can remember. You get asked to remember one, and you just
I know. I can file these away, and at any moment, just like in the middle of a conversation, I can think about it, and then you ask me, and I'm like,
I mean, you sit at staff camp, and like you can just revel in memories for like hours, and then you ask, it's like, I don't know.
You're in the podcast studio, the pressure is on.
It's like I've never had a story before.
Camp. Think fast.
I'm trying, Zeph. I am attempting. All right, that's a very tough question. Favorite camp story. Like camp event that as staff that we did, or just like
any story from camp.
So
what's your favorite?
I think my favorite thing that staff has done, story wise, was 2017. We had what we called the Country Wars.
Okay.
It was.
Oh wait, I think I witnessed part of this.
I think you like walked by during one of our meetings. So. All of us, like certain cabins, would ally themselves as like different historical factions.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Johnson had like for some reason the Templar Knights.
Mm-hmm.
We had obviously United States of America. We had Imperial Japan.
America, let's go 4th of July.
4th of July, baby!
Yeah!
Mine was the least American of them all. I had the USSR. That's which spiraled down into me trying to learn Russian. Anyways, we had Communist China, Imperial Japan, USSR, United States, the Knights Templar, and who else was it? I think we legitimately had Bangladesh.
Okay. So what was the point?
But it was the entire thing was like we'd make pull ninja swords, and we'd have like weekly fights, and those that came out on top had certain privileges throughout the weeks, such as getting in front of the line for dining hall. It was just an interesting way that us as staff,
right,
like without the higher ups, like jack all about this.
Well, they do now.
They do now. Surprise! We hit each other with pool noodles.
Did they not see when they walked into Gray Squirrel the flags hanging on your cabins and stuff and question it
this
at all?
is true.
I'm sure Freddie knew everything.
Oh yeah, Freddie.
Okay.
I know Freddie knew about it.
Right.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily condone.
Right.
Well, saying not condone makes it sound like we were in trouble. No, it was completely ran by us. It was not sanctioned by the higher ups. No, this is just us staff being dumb about having fun.
Right.
Which I think actually influenced the idea when Tori was here of the houses. When
I was part of Huffle Snuff. I remember that.
When you would break out into houses and that house would get privileges because doing good stuff and things like that.
I think that does sound like it was pretty well influenced by that.
Right. I forgot about the houses. That was kind of fun.
But I have a story that I want to talk about that was you. I've done this with every guest. I have a story that's specifically with that guest. And so it was at Campfire. And this was back when we helped Campfire be, lit. And so there's special juices the Scout Spirit water that you put on the campfire, right?
Liquid Scout Spirit.
Yeah. And so it was at the end of one of the weeks. I think it was like week 4. It was like the last week or something. And there was in the can, there was about half a can of this mysterious fluids.
Which we can't use anymore, right?
Correct.
No, we
don't use them anymore.
Due to national.
Yeah, so, but in the past. Anyways, this has been a couple years ago. And so I was told, and I don't know who, it was just kind of a group decision, because I used to do it, that just put the rest of the can on there. And so I was like, there's quite a bit in this can. And they were like, oh, don't worry about it, just put it in there. And so I was like, okay. And so I poured the entire contents of what was left in the can on the fire. And the OA came down, and they lit the fire. And about halfway through our introductions, I look over, and there is a 40-foot flame in the sky. And I think I was sitting next to you, and me and you kind of look at each other like, oh man,
uh-oh,
we have messed up.
It was like the deadpan glare into each other's eyes, like, oh my lord, we are not going to hear the end of this. We're going to be chewed out tonight.
Yes. And then at the same time, we look back, and Fred Johnson is just sitting there, and he is looking at us with his arms crossed like he does, shaking his head.
We got the notorious Freddy glare.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It is legendary.
And he just looked at us, and we were like, sorry, and then just went back, and it was terrifying. But he didn't chew us out.
He didn't chew us out, but I think the glare did enough. Yeah, it did it in for me. It
was scary for me. But that's good memory with you. So,
well, Pop-Tart, here's a question from James Crossell, our last guest.
Ooh.
What is your experience with the Raccoon Mafia?
So, the Raccoon Mafia, right? I've heard of this, and I've been privy to it. But we had a specific raccoon that we like to deal with back at Old Staff Camp. So for those of you that do not know, Gray Squirrel Campsite was the original camp staff campground. That's where the country wars happened. So we have little campfire meetings and everything there.
No, was this pre-cabin?
This was pre-cabin, yes.
Pre-Adirondack, whatever.
Yeah, pre-Adirondacks. So just all tents, seeing how far we've come these days. We had a fat raccoon.
Yeah.
He'd come every night around 10:30. We named him Leroy.
As you do.
As you do. And when I say fat, I tell you, this man was a chonker, all right? He'd waddle up to us. Wouldn't get aggressive. No, he was the most docile raccoon I've ever met. Yeah. He'd keep about 5 foot distance from you. And he'd just look at you funny. So he threw a couple potato chips at him. And then he'd sit there, lay down, and eat them right in front of you.
That's cool.
He was the most chill raccoon I've ever met, hence why all of us named him Leroy.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
From what I've heard, he may be a double agent, so I don't know.
Do you think he's the crime boss of the Mafia?
He might be. We were simply trying to make peace with the Raccoon Mafia here. Right? And as far as I know, I'm on good terms with the Raccoon Mafia. I do not, unlike James Crustle, I do not have them looking out for me.
As far as you know.
As far as I know.
See, I didn't realize this was a thing either. And so they've kept me on the outs, and I'm fine with that. They are good to leave me out of this.
Oh no! But as we've established, if they listen to the podcast, we might be next.
That's true. They definitely listen. And I mean,
well, if you're listening, Leroy, if you're still here,
come see us.
Come see me. I still have potato chips.
What cabin are you in?
Cabin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Cabin 7. So you can which bed specifically?
Top right.
There you go. So if you need to take them out,
you're gonna go in your cabin with
I'm about to get
Leroy the raccoon will be in your bed.
I'm about to get DDoSed by Leroy the raccoon.
You know how funny it is? Does raccoons have opposable thumbs?
Kinda, yeah.
So
that's what's so scary.
Yeah.
Raccoons have kind of opposable thumbs so that they can grab stuff.
Right, so they can he can get in there, open doors.
They could open a door.
Yeah.
I've seen them open doors.
Yes.
Now, the Adirondacks, I've seen them lean across the guardrail and jump over and open doors. I have witnessed this.
Oh my god.
That's actually kind of cool.
See, this is why I say that they will figure out how to open the bear box.
They are the real owners of camp, and I will stand by that
statement. As much as I'm enjoying this, what do you want to ask our next guest? What question?
All right.
Specifically.
And we don't actually
ask
know.
A rhetorical question.
We don't actually yet know who our next guest is going to be because, as we said, we don't have a lot of people who will be here next week.
That would help.
So you're in the dark like JD was.
That would help my questions very severely because I've got a question in mind.
Oh, well, then ask it.
Well,
maybe
you just ask
it's
it.
fun.
It doesn't matter who it is.
If you've pulled a prank on camp, what is your favorite one that you've ever pulled?
What if they haven't? You need an
If you have not, what is the favorite one that you've witnessed?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's a good question. They can incriminate themselves.
Yeah. Just like you did about calling your kids dolls.
Oh, I could incriminate myself in so many ways at this moment, so I'm trying to...
Okay.
All right, PopTart, your last question other than the big one.
The big one.
Team doors or wheels?
I know, that's interesting.
See, that brings in the question, right? I know this is a difficult question. It's the reason why it's talked about. See, I personally want to lean more wheels.
Yes.
Right? Because a lot of things can be classified as wheels. Right? I can look at this sander right here behind me.
Yeah.
And I can classify that as a wheel of sorts, right? There's wheels underneath that can be classified as wheels.
Exactly. Just in case it wasn't obvious, there is a sander behind.
There is a sander behind the tarp, yes. There's a circular saw right here. That's a wheel.
Yeah. Yep. That is factual.
Including the gears that are in that.
Exactly.
The motor.
So you're team wheel.
I am team wheel.
Okay. Not even competition, honestly. Okay. We could just stop asking this question by this point, but we got to keep it going all summer because
I just wanted to team.
All right, PopTart, it's time. For the story.
Oh no, I forgot this was even the thing.
You forgot his name was PopTart?
Yeah. Where do you work?
I don't remember our first year. Hayden insisted on always calling you Zach.
Oh yeah. No, we had a thing there when you were the director, and it was this big thing.
He wasn't even director yet.
Well, no, it wasn't the first year because I didn't care the first year. It was the second year when Zach was the director. We had a staff member that was there that insisted that it was unprofessional to call you PopTart.
Oh yeah, a certain staff member that I don't talk to anymore.
Yeah, we called you Zach, and that's what we did.
Oh, okay. I thought I remembered you making a point of that to me.
No. It was.
I agreed with it somewhat. I'm not gonna lie, but I learned to not care. But I did call him Zach most of that year.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, why are you not Zach?
I've never been asked that one before.
So, tell us how you were named Zach. That'd be hilarious.
So, when a mommy and a daddy really love each other.
No.
We're doing a PopTart story.
It's been 10 years. I've had this name for, actually, I'm coming up on 11.
Wow.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Decade 1.
11 cents. But no, 10 years ago is when I earned this nickname. So I mentioned earlier a surprise tool that will help us later. That campout that I visited Troop 240 on was to Backbone Rock, Virginia.
Good trip.
Right? Amazing trip.
I mean, I wasn't on that one, but we've been there many times.
I will never forget that place. I love that campout. If your troop ever wants to go there, worth it. Great zip lining, great rock climbing, great rappelling.
Yes.
I got there after everybody else had already gotten there. So the campsite that we were in, it was a strip. It was a long, squiggly strip. And since I'd gotten there last, I was all the way at the end. At the beginning of the strip was our supply tent. Cooking tent, food supplies, all that stuff.
Right.
Well, we get through the entire ordeal, and we wake up on the last day. Except I didn't wake up. I was sleepy. I slept in past everybody's food.
Oh, yeah. No, you didn't.
Absolutely tragic. If I did that these days, I'd get yelled at.
Yeah.
Tragic. I woke up on the last day after everybody else had already eaten and packed up their tents. So my buddy, Jacob Perney, was shaking my tent, going, "Zach, come on, get up." And I'm sitting here moaning and groaning, miserable that I missed lunch. Not missed lunch, missed breakfast.
You slept in really long.
Yeah, I slept in real long. I had missed breakfast. I was about half the size I am now with such a high metabolism that if I missed breakfast, I had the possibility of passing out by dinner.
You must have been tiny.
I was tiny.
You're a small amount of drinking.
Hey, yo.
I remember Little PopTart. I mean, I was little too, but like
little PopTart was weird. Little PopTart was he was tiny.
Still is. Little and weird.
Anyways,
go on.
He knows why I'm miserable, so he goes, "Zach, listen, we still have some oatmeal, cereal, and Pop-Tarts left if you want some." I whip open my tent. Pop-Tarts. I jump out of my tent, and I run all the way down this squiggly trail. It's about, I want to say, 1/10 of a mile.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not that big. I don't know how big, but it was
40 miles long.
40 miles long. No, it was about 100 feet, 150 feet long.
I'd go 100 yards.
100 yards, yeah. That's actually pretty close. I ran the entire way to the tent, screaming Pop-Tarts at the top of my lungs. Straight up, Pop-Tarts, Pop-Tarts, Pop-Tarts. I got to the Pop-Tarts. I grabbed 3 or 4 packs, and I ran all the way back to my tent, screaming Pop-Tarts at the top of my lungs. And I sat down and began eating them. Right after that, Dale Dalfit, our camp director's son, Seth Dalfit, our camp director's son, dubbed me the name Pop-Tart, and I've been that way ever since.
Yeah. It changed you.
It really did change me.
Even outside of Scouts, I can attest he is called PopTart.
Yeah.
It's like it bleeds into my real life, but I actually did. Fun fact. I did not like the nickname at first.
Yeah, cool.
I despised it.
I remember you not liking it, and I felt bad for people calling you that.
But I eventually grew into accepting it, and look where I am now.
That's true. You're like 104, and you named Pop-Tart. It's going to be on your grave when you die.
Please, God, I actually do plan.
Say your real name on your tombstone.
Yeah.
It just says.
I do have to say though,
what?
It has been really convenient sometimes knowing him, because you'll be walking around, you'll be hungry, and a kid will just run up with a Pop-Tart, and then he'll share sometimes. That's convenient. There is never a lack of Pop-Tarts to be given.
I will say, I have been given, I think, 7 Pop-Tarts this summer so far.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't understand at all why. Because I don't think I look like you. But people have asked me, "Are you Pop-Tart?"
I don't know how. You're taller and scrawny.
It hasn't happened as many times.
And your hair is so short.
Yeah, the last couple years, it hasn't happened as much because I think people have started to get to know me and remember me also. But like my first 2 years on staff, especially, I would have like at least once a week somebody would be like, "Are you Pop-Tart?" I was no.
You don't know that you say.
I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never looked at you two this way.
Hey, don't you dare!
But you guys almost look similar. I mean, flame bone structure in the face.
I don't know.
Maybe the cheekbones.
We're gonna take a picture of each one of them and put it on Instagram, and you can decide.
What are you gonna do? A side by side on the Camp David
Chronicles? Yeah, figure out which one is Pop-Tart.
Find the differences.
We both have noses.
Well, yeah, all I'm saying is you're both wearing black right now. You both have almost the same color hair, except yours is longer. PopTart's is longer.
Yeah.
But yours was shorter at the time he's saying around this time.
Oh boy.
Same kind of bone structure, same kind of like facial hair deal going on because you're both like. So
I don't know.
You both have.
I'm skeptical.
You both have eyes, nose, teeth, eyebrows, ears.
Well, we can put that on Monday when this drops. We can put the side by side on Instagram.
We'll do like a profile picture and like a side.
Okay, side profile.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way we get the full length. It's like this nose comparison as well.
Yeah.
This is
oh
so
my
adultish.
gosh, you guys have the same.
No,
we don't.
We don't.
What do you mean?
Look at oh my gosh.
He's got more of like a little bulb at the end there.
Well, no, I also have really deep grooves in the side
That's
of my
true.
nose.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. So with that, I think we should talk about the thought of the day.
The thought of the day.
What's the thought of the day?
Now, I have thought about this day for a while. So I was watching a video on the tube of the U. And I was presented an interesting thought. And on this video I was watching, they didn't go into detail. He just said it as a random fact. It was another podcast I was watching. But he said it as a random fact, and then they didn't go anywhere. And so I was like, this is weird. So I looked it up. The question he presented was, how many folds can you fold a piece of paper until you get to the moon?
Oh, yeah, this is wild.
And so, no, this is really cool. And so, I don't know if you guys realize this, but you can only fold a piece of paper, no matter how big, like 8 times.
Oh, yeah. 8 times. I thought it was like 13. Yeah. I couldn't remember.
I don't know.
It's 7 or 8. So it's a low number. It's enough that you think, oh, I can do that easily, and then you do it, and you can't.
Yeah. It's so...
Yeah.
Like folding it in half.
Right.
Eventually it gets too thick to fold.
Right.
It literally just becomes too dense to fold.
Right. So, but what's really cool, they've done the math. NASA did the math on this, okay, that means it's official, is if you were able, theoretically, to fold a piece of paper 8.5 by 11 as many times as you can, it would take 42 folds to get to the moon.
42?
42.
Oh, that's it. That's the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all it would take. I mean, that is fascinating.
No, because like it would grow it would double exponentially.
Right.
Yeah, it doubles
every time you fold it. So like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That's really weird to think about.
But it gets crazier. I'm about to really blow your mind.
I think 42 blew my mind.
That number alone.
No, I mean, if you know, you know. But 42. Right. Okay. But that's an important number.
If you fold it as many times as you can, it doesn't, like, you just can continue folding it. If you fold it 94 times, you have a piece of paper that goes the entire length of the visible universe. Yeah. No. Yeah, no, NASA says so.
The visible universe is really, really big.
So you're telling me if I could theoretically fold a paper 94 times,
it would be as big as the visible universe.
Like just like are you talking about like just like a Milky Way galaxy or
no? As far as we can see,
the visible universe.
I know. Wild.
Yeah. So I really blew the mind. It blew my mind.
I don't like that.
Well, I mean, who's going to test it?
That's the real question. NASA.
Elon Musk, get on it.
Because let's true.
Elon Musk would do it.
We're just to make sure to clarify. It is not 92 or 94 papers like just on top of each other. It's folded. I mean,
yeah.
There are plenty of.
I've read books that are a lot more than 92 pages. I know it doesn't reach to the edge of the universe.
Man, that took a long time to read, bro.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I think that's fascinating. So,
oh man,
that was my thought. I was like, because he asked that question, and he didn't answer it, and so now I've asked the question and answered it from reputable sources.
All right. Well, it is now time for week 3 staff quotes.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, here's the first one.
Okay.
I just talk loud all the time because I'm deaf.
Oh, Aaron.
No.
Well,
good guess though.
Aaron talks really loud all the time for no reason. Okay.
Clayton?
Everybody says Clayton.
Yeah,
it's not Clayton.
Once again, I will tell you none of them are Clayton.
Yeah, I'm not guessing
Clayton's so quotable.
Yeah, no.
I'm not guessing Clayton. Okay, let's see. Let's go with what staff they're on. Scoutcraft, okay.
Ross
doesn't talk loud.
That's true. Dylan?
I was gonna go with Dylan, but Dylan's on Eco, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
that's right.
So you've got
I
Ross.
Have said Scoutcraft narrowed it down too much.
You said Ross, Michaela. Michaela doesn't talk loud, and then there's one other person.
Ethan Rose.
Yeah,
is it Ethan?
It was Ethan Rose.
Yeah. He doesn't talk.
He doesn't even talk that loud.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
It was in context. It almost made sense, but it still didn't. I was like, that's weird enough that I'm writing it down.
Yeah, Ethan doesn't talk loud.
Yo, all right, okay. Here's a good one. This town ain't big enough for a golf cart. Period.
Sean Ciccone.
No, neither of them.
Who else drives a golf cart? Sean or okay, we've got it. Okay, one of our electric golf carts or our diesel powered buggies.
This is just a general statement. It's not necessarily.
But it has to be somebody that's. Oh wait, no, it's Tate.
No.
Oh, because he was driving a golf cart last night.
Yeah, that sounds like something he would say.
That sounds like a Tate quote. Okay, let's see what program are you on?
I don't know. It would narrow it down too much.
Well, that's the point.
Is it on business?
No.
Yeah, it's
merit badge. I'll tell you merit badge.
Okay, but it's literally half of everyone.
That's like half of staff. Okay.
What staff do they work on?
Oh, we can cross out Eagle Bound, right?
Right, yeah, it's not Eagle Bound. It's probably it's not like Scoutcraft because they're all underneath 18. Except Ethan and Michaela. But they're
but okay. Yeah. Anyway.
It's not on ecology. Even though that's the only people that'll hang out with Zeph, because they have to. It's required.
What's the quote again?
This town ain't big enough for a golf cart, period.
Like they said period? Or
yes.
they
said period.
Okay, that's important. That's very important.
Because that's like a younger thing to say.
You want me to give you context?
Yes.
I can tell you it was a response to me. I said, this town ain't big enough for 2 golf carts. And they said, this town ain't big enough for a golf cart, period.
That's not a lot of context. So
I want to know the program area they work on.
STEM.
Oh, Dan.
No.
Darn it. Dan doesn't work on STEM.
Oh, that's right. I forget about
the answer.
I don't even know who works on STEM. Samuel?
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Well, see, if you'd have just told me his electric golf carts.
I don't know. Okay, here's the last one. This one might be fairly obvious. I don't know. I think I enjoy people trying to kill me a little too much.
What?
Atlas.
All of staff?
Why did I immediately guess Atlas?
I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds like an Atlas quote.
That really does sound like an Atlas quote.
Is it? I literally don't know. I do not know any of these people apparently.
Is this someone on my staff?
No.
Okay. Is that I would either put that between Avery or Atlas.
Is it Steven?
No.
Oh. I don't know. I have no clue.
You were there in the area one day.
Madison.
So it was.
You have no idea how long that narrows
it was after staff swim.
After staff swim. Okay.
If you remember what was going on during staff swim, you might remember. I don't know.
What about the chicken fighting?
No.
What? No, that doesn't do. What staff?
And it would narrow it down too much. Like there's only one person on that staff left that I would
Cope.
No.
Who's the one person on the staff? Who's the staff of one?
It's not like a staff area. Well, it would narrow it down based on your options that you have.
What does that mean?
If I tell you, you'll know. Do you want me to tell you?
No, just tell us the area.
Shooting sports.
Oh, okay. So, I said Steven.
I know.
Is it Dan?
Yes, that's why I said
Dan doesn't talk.
Dan, what do you mean Dan doesn't talk?
Dan doesn't talk.
So during staff swim, everyone was trying to dunk Dan under the water, and he would like flip him over instead. And so we got to the point where we were just piling as many people as we could to try to get him to try to dunk him under the water.
Splashing water.
It took like 8 people to dunk him. And then when we were walking out of the pool, he said, "I think I enjoy people trying to kill me a little too much."
Interesting.
It's a little concerning of a quote, but I'm gonna write it down. Okay.
Oh well.
Well, I will say for 4th of July, we don't have a scout week, which is kind of sad. But next year we do. We will have another full scout week or another full scout week here again. So that'll be nice.
R.I.P. the magic campfire.
Yeah, our patriotic campfire we had at the end of this week instead because we can't do it last week. And then it was moved to the dining hall halfway through, as we said.
It still started off wonderfully
strong. Still started off strong. We got to play God Bless the USA and we had all the flags on the campfire and it was awesome.
Although we didn't have people swinging flags around.
We didn't have big flags.
No. Yeah, and the people from Walnut Bend came over and gave us a little fireworks show.
Yeah, we had the 50th fireworks again. Yeah. So that was
cool.
Great every week.
And that was probably the most fitting campfire for it too.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Fourth of July
celebration. I haven't put any firework pictures up yet. I'll do that at the end of the summer.
I haven't been able to get any good ones.
Okay. Well, I don't know if they're good, but we'll see. Anyway, are we done now?
Yeah.
Okay. It is a great day to be a scout in America.
Bye.
That's what done, yeah.
Bye. I have to say bye last.